Something felt off that morning. Not loud, not obvious, just different. Parents walked faster than usual, eyes scanning every corner. Children stayed closer than normal. No one said it out loud, but something wasn't right. A child was missing. Junko, 11 years old. He left home like any other day. Same path, same routine. But this time, he never made it to school. At first, people assumed the usual. Maybe he got lost. Maybe he wandered off. But as hours passed, that explanation stopped making sense. Because Jun wasn't careless. He knew the route. Everyone knew that. By afternoon, concern turned into action. Neighbors started searching. Parents joined in. Volunteers gathered quickly. Strangers became a team. All focused on one thing: find Jun. They searched the park first, calling his name, checking under benches, behind trees, near playgrounds, every possible hiding spot. Hope was still alive. He has to be here somewhere, that's what people kept telling themselves. Because the alternative was too dark to accept. As the hours passed, the energy began to shift. Voices grew quieter. Movements became tense. People stopped talking about when they'd find him and started wondering how, because deep down, everyone felt it. This wasn't normal. Then came the discovery. Deep in the woods, someone found him. Everything stopped. The search ended, but something much worse had just begun. The city froze. Shock spread instantly. Parents held their children tighter. Schools went silent. And one question echoed everywhere. Who could do something like this? Police launched a full investigation. Every lead was checked, every detail analyzed. But before they could get answers, the killer made the next move. A newspaper received a letter. At first, it seemed like a tip. Just another message. Until they opened it. Inside, something no one was prepared for. A piece of the victim. That's when everything changed. This wasn't just a crime anymore. This was a message. The letter was cold, precise, almost confident. It mocked the police. It insulted society. And then it said something that changed everything. Killing feels good. Read that again. Not regret, not fear, enjoyment. At that moment, the investigation took a darker turn. Because now, they weren't just looking for a killer. They were looking for someone who enjoyed what they did. And that meant one thing. They weren't done. Then came the escalation. Another message arrived. But this time, the delivery was impossible to ignore. At the gate of the victim's own school, something had been placed. Carefully, deliberately, a display. A message to everyone watching. I'm still here. Now the entire country was watching. News spread everywhere. Fear turned into national shock. People couldn't understand it. How could something like this happen here? In a place known for order, for safety, for discipline. But the reality was clear. This wasn't random. This was controlled. The killer wasn't hiding. He was performing. Investigators focused on the letters. Every word mattered. The handwriting, the tone, the structure. It all pointed to something unexpected. Intelligence. This wasn't chaotic behavior. This was calculated, planned, step by step. Then came the break in the case, and no one saw it coming. The trail didn't lead to an adult. It didn't lead to a criminal network. It led somewhere far more disturbing. A school, a classroom, a 14-year-old boy. Shinichiro Azuma. Quiet, polite, unremarkable. The kind of person you wouldn't notice twice, which is exactly why no one suspected him. Because people expect danger to be obvious, loud, aggressive, easy to identify. But this was invisible. When police brought him in, something felt wrong immediately. He wasn't scared. He wasn't confused. He wasn't even defensive. He was calm. Too calm. Then he started talking. And what he said didn't sound like a confession. It sounded like an explanation. He described everything clearly, step by step. No hesitation, no emotion, just facts. He said he wanted to understand something, what it feels like to take a life, not out of anger, not out of revenge, but curiosity. That's what made it terrifying, because curiosity doesn't stop easily. It grows, and in his case, it escalated. He didn't start with people. For years, he had been hurting animals. Small acts at first, then bigger ones. Each time pushing further, testing limits, until the feeling faded. And when it fades, you go further. That's the pattern. Escalation. From small harm to something unthinkable. Now here's the part most people ignore. There were signs, subtle ones, easy to dismiss. Moments that felt off, but not serious enough to act on. And that's how it happens, because people don't expect the worst, especially not from someone who seems normal. The case exploded across Japan. Media coverage was everywhere. People were shocked, confused, angry. A 14-year-old capable of something this calculated, this brutal. But the truth was undeniable. The trial revealed everything. Not just the actions, but the mindset behind them. Cold, detached, almost analytical, as if human life was just something to experiment with. And then came the final twist. Because of his age, he wasn't treated as an adult. No life sentence, no permanent imprisonment. Instead, juvenile detention, rehabilitation. The idea that he could change, that he could be reintroduced into society. Years later, he was released. New identity, new life. But the impact of the case never disappeared, because it exposed something deeper, something uncomfortable. The belief that you can always recognize danger isn't true, because the most dangerous individuals don't stand out. They blend in, they adapt, they observe, and by the time anyone realizes what's happening, it's already too late. So the real question is, if someone like this could exist unnoticed, what else are we missing right now?